Yo, what up? It's your man, Big Brandon Carter. Welcome to another episode of Victory Talk. We a little late today, but it was for a good reason. It's like daylight savings and shit, so we had to adjust the colors. We still ain't got it right, but we working on it. As the sun goes down, the lighting will get better. Of that, I am sure. Hey, let's get into the podcast. Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of that Victory Talk. You know what I'm saying? This is where you come to learn how to build your money, your muscles, and your mindset. Right? You know what I'm saying? Once you got all three, your life will be in order, man. You won't have to worry about nothing else. Did you notice? We didn't mention women, even though it's mostly guys here. We didn't mention women. Because you won't have to learn how to get women once your money, your muscles, and your mindset is on point. They're going to be worried about how to get you. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is almost all men watching this. Almost all men watching this. Oh, shoot. I texted that to the wrong person, man. Even though this is almost all men watching this, right? We're not talking about how to get women. Because it'll be easy for you to learn how to get women once your money, muscle, and mindset is on point. In fact, so much so that you're going to need our sponsor, Thought Repellent. Yeah, this is where all your super chats go to the development of Thought Repellent, right? And this is for men who have been watching the Victory Talk, who subscribe to the Discord below, right? Because they're improving their money, muscle, and mindset every day to the point where they not worried about how to get women. They worried about how to get them off them. Motherfuckers can't walk outside without getting swarmed by thoughts. And that's why we're trying to help these men. We're working on bringing Thought Repellent to the market. But it takes a lot of research and development for this. A lot of R&D. Right? We got nerds and lab coats, beakers. Right? They mixing up shit, testing it. Trying to get the perfect formula that will keep the thoughts at bay. You know what I'm saying? The real G's know what I'm talking about. They ain't out here, how do I get women? Listen, most of the pickup guys, I got friends in that community, right? But there's a lot of pickup guys who just teach you how to pretend to be a real nigga. Them motherfuckers teach you how to pretend to be me so you can trick a chick into fool a trick into fucking you because she think you me, right? Nah, man. That's making shit more difficult than it needs to be. Get your money, muscle, mindset right. The biggest problem won't be how do you get girls? It'll be like, how do I get girls the fuck off me? Right? That's where Thought Repellent comes in. It smells like responsibility and accountability. We all know that thoughts, they can't deal with that, man. The moment they get a whiff of accountability, like, Jesus, they flee instantly. All right. So we want to make sure that the real ones have that. Right? And all your super chats go towards that. So that's what we're working on. Hey, but you know what else we've been working on? Yeah, you've been asking for it. People have been asking for it. Goddamn riots in the streets because I haven't delivered this yet. We putting the podcast on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other ones. Google Podcasts. What else they listen to it on? Motherfucking. Is that it? That's it, right? Was it?
I mean, there are a whole bunch.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. And you're going to have one episode every Thursday and Tuesday.
Thursday and Tuesday, man. Audio. This way you can listen to it while you working out. You can listen to it while you on while you on a plane, while you on a train. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter where you are, you can, while you're going about your day, you can be getting that knowledge in your brain, right? Audio version, right? Make sure you click the link below. And what they got to do, man, I don't know how this shit works.
Yeah. So you can you can find the link from two different places. Either go to the comment section, it's pinned all the way on the top.
Come on.
Or the first link in the description of this this live episode. Just click on it, pick the platform that you typically listen to the audio podcasts, and we're going to start putting episodes from this Thursday, I believe, and it's just going to keep going every Thursday, every Tuesday. But what we need from the community is...
We need this.
Yes, to actually go there, pick the platform that you typically listen to. Make sure you follow. Make sure you follow the podcast, and you write a review for us. So it's going to push us to the top, and more people, more men that actually need
Come on, man.
Yeah, they're going to be able to find the podcast and kind of support the community. And Brandon,
show love, man. You got to show love. You got to support the pod. We doing this for free for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And all I ask, go in there, man. Download it, write a review, talk about how dope it is. You know what I'm saying? That's going to help us get more people to watch it. More people come into our world. Then we can finally get Thought Repellent out to the masses. That's the whole end game for this. Brandon, why you give out all this free information? Because I'm trying to bring Thought Repellent to the market. I need it. The ballers need it. We all need it. Right? So we need your help. All right? So go ahead and do that, man. You can go ahead and do that now. You can do that now. Right? You got to support the people who are down with you, man. Who support you. Hey, you know what? That's one of the habits. We back. Hey, man, listen. We still learning how to pod. I'm be honest with you. So we need your support more than ever. We need your support more than ever. You know what I'm saying? But you got to support your people, man. That's one of the habits I picked up. Hey, there's a lot of habits I picked up that have helped me become a multi-millionaire baller shot caller, straight up G. And I want to share some of those with y'all right now in the segment we call Habits of a Winner. All right, habits of a winner. Okay. A lot of you guys know I'm from the south side of Chicago, real rough area, right? And then when I went to college in another rough area. I went to college in DC, got mixed up with some different kind of people. I've had an eclectic past. And a lot of the people who I've met or dealt with in the past were scoundrels. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Criminals, drug dealers, and pimps and shit. And my time spent with them, I've learned a lot of lessons that I was able to apply to the real business world. And that's what I want to share with y'all. I want to share y'all I want to share with you guys the top 10 lessons I learned. I want to share with you guys the top 10 business lessons I learned from drug dealers and pimps. All right. And we're going to get into it right now. If you listen, here's the thing. If you internalize these messages, right? If you internalize these lessons, you'll be able to apply them to your illegal businesses, be able to make more money with whatever endeavors that you are involved in right now. All right. So number one, the first lesson I learned, I had an OG back in the day, you know, and he was involved in some stuff. I don't get on it, but we worked together. He was like my OG, someone I looked up to. And one day he was talking to me and a few of his other minions. And he was saying, hey, man, he was like, yo, listen, what y'all gonna do if I get arrested or I go to jail? And then we kind of just looked at each other like, I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. And then he looked at us kind of crazy. And he said, you're going to figure it out, motherfucker. You're going to survive. And I just remembered that. I remember that no matter what happens, you got to figure it out and survive. right? He did he did end up going to prison, right? Still there now. And we figured it out, right? We didn't just, I felt like he knew that was going to happen, that he knew the writing was on the wall, right? So what we were able to do was we was able to keep our thing going at the time. And, we figured it out. And how do I apply that to my life? Right. So when I got into the official business world, the legit business world, I noticed that a lot of things happen, when what's the shit called? I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. We'll call it C19. When C19 came through, when China came out with that new shit, the C19, and everybody was kind of bitching and moaning about what's happening. They was crying. I saw people crying. I saw a lot of people on, not necessarily because they were sick, because, the shutdowns and the lockdowns and everything, and people were protesting and crying. We had friends I had a friend who stormed the Capitol, fucking retard. And you want to edit out retard, fucking dummy. And people were just bitching and moaning about it. But I didn't complain at all. I just remembered, listen, we're going to figure it out and we survive. No matter what happens. And I just focused on making sure that my business stayed afloat. I made a promise to myself that I was not going to lay off any employees. I had 25 employees at the time. I was like, nope, we're going to figure it out. All right. So I didn't pay myself during that time. I made sure I paid my employees, make sure I didn't fire them. Even though I had a nanny at the time for my son, she was staying at home, right? Because we were in New York and it was kind of crazy. I said, listen, you just stay at home. Don't worry about it. Take care of your family. We're still going to pay you, even though you're staying at home. I wasn't making no videos. So my video editor, he didn't have no work. I was like, listen, don't worry. We're going to still pay you. Don't worry about it. We just be there when we need you. And we figured it out. You know what I'm saying? We ended up making way more money. Right. And I also want to make sure my customers were able to survive. Right. And able to make money during that time. And we made sure we figured it out. We didn't complain about it. We didn't cry. Right. We just figured it out. And that's a real G move. Right. Because a lot of things are going to happen to you in life. Right. A lot of things are going to happen that are outside of your control. Right. People are going to behave different. There's going to be circumstances outside of your control that you can't account for sometimes. Right. You got to be able to just not cry, not bitch, not complain. You just figure it out. You just try to win under any circumstances. Right. The election was happening. I didn't give a fuck who won. Right. I had preference. Right. But I was like, no matter what happens, I'm going to try to find a way to win under those circumstances. So, you know what I'm saying? If no matter which way the election went, I was like, listen, we're going to find a way to win. So I didn't get all emotionally wrapped up in it. Right. That's a real key. Figure it out no matter what. Always find a way to win. Always find a way to win. Lesson number 2. There was another mentor of mine back in the day. And his name was Selmo. That's not his real name. Right. But his name was Selmo. And I was at Selmo's crib because we were working on something. And he opened this big safe. And he had a few $100,000 in it. Mind you, he was in the hood. And he said, listen, man. I was like, yo, why you got this safe there? He's like, well, listen, I can't put this in the bank, but I got this safe. And this shit is fireproof. And it was bolted into the ground. If something happens, I'm in good shape. Right? Like, nobody can steal it. If this whole fucking place burns down, all that money is safe. All right. I remembered Selmo said that. Then right after that, my cousin, Chicago G, rest in peace. I can say his name because he's gone now. You can't arrest a dead guy. He was hustling and his house got robbed. Right. And he had a few $100,000 and a bunch of fucking paraphernalia and a bunch of illegal shit in there by some other gangsters. Right. Some gangsters robbed him. Right. And he couldn't tell the police, right? You know what I'm saying? He couldn't do anything, and he didn't have the safe like Selmo had, right? And I was like, right? Because initially I thought that Selmo was being overly protective, right? I felt like it was over the top to have this big safe bolted to the ground. I was like, yo, man, if somebody come, you'll be all right, man. That shit ain't gonna happen. Then it happened to G. I was like, oh, I see. So what that taught me was to be over prepared. I call it offensive pessimism, right? Basically, I think about everything that could go wrong in business or in life, and I prepare for that situation. So I'm like overly prepared for any situation. This way, when something happens, when these unforeseen circumstances that we're talking about, it's like you can handle it, right? And or maybe nothing happens, but at least you can be safer, right? You feel safer. And for me, it makes me feel more secure. For example, how that affected me in the real world, I always keep 6 months of excuse me, I always keep 6 months of expenses saved, right? And my expenses are high, so that's a lot of money. Where a lot of people will tell you, hey man, you can't keep money in the savings account. You're gonna lose money because of inflation and you'll blah blah blah. And they're right. However, I know that some shit may happen. So I'm always prepared to take care of myself, my family, my son, even my employees, right? If shit goes down. So like we said, when C-19 came through and the whole fucking world got shut down for a few months, I didn't pay myself, but I made sure I didn't lay anybody off. These motherfuckers was laying people off and shit. And I was looking at them like, ha, I'm a better entrepreneur than you. Loser, right? I just didn't pay myself, but I was able to do that because I had 6 months of savings, right? So I didn't have to like change my lifestyle or nothing. I was like, all right, cool. I was prepared for that, right? But you want to be over prepared is what I'm trying to say, right? And that's what I learned from the homie Selmo with his safe with like $300,000 stashed in it, right? Boom. Number 3, the third lesson I learned from drug dealers and pimps. This comes from a pimp named Saucy. All right, so Saucy, he's also dead. R.I.P. Saucy. Saucy had, what's the word? Hoes. Right? He had hoes like he was like a real pimp, not like a rapper. Oh, I'm out here pimping. No. Like these women were having sex for money. That was the job, right? And he was in charge of them, right? And Saucy would always like take the girls like shopping. He would always take them shopping to make sure they was fly. They had a bunch of shit. And I talked to Saucy about that once, and he said something to the effect of, "Hey, look here, man. You got to keep that. You got to keep them happy, man. You got to keep them. I got to keep the employees happy." You know what I'm saying? He said it something to that effect, and I always remembered that, right? Because Saucy had hoes, like he really had hoes. They was like loyal to him, and they was hard workers, right? Now, how do you apply that to the real world? Well, not the real world, but how do you apply that to the business world? When I had employees, now that I have employees, I always try to make sure I treat my employees as good as possible, right? So, for example, we had a record year, like the year before last. It was like our record year. I mean, we since beat it, but it was a big year. And a bunch of my employees, I bought them Rolexes, right? Just a little token of my appreciation. That was like money out of my own pocket, right? And what happened was, man, the next year we made even more money. It seemed like, they was more, most of them were more like, down to work hard and take it to that and really work with us, because I always made an effort to treat people fairly and to go out of my way for my employees, right? Or like, again, when C-19 went through, I made sure like we're not firing nobody, we're not laying off nobody. Even if we don't need them, we're going to keep paying them until this is over. And we were able to do that, and it worked out really well for us. And now we make most of those employees are still with us, and they're all making more money than they did before. And the whole company's making more money than they did before. So the real lesson is to just take care of the people who work for you, right? Learned that from Saucy to Pimp. Number 4. So I learned this lesson. I'm trying to be careful on how I say some of this stuff, right? It's all past the statute of limitations, most of it, right? It's all past, but I'm trying to be careful how I word some of these things, right? So there was this guy, right? And he was from Chicago, and them Chicago guys are, man, they crazy. And he had beef with this other dude. We're gonna call this other dude Reggie. It's not his real name, right? We're gonna call Reggie, right? Right. So the Chicago guy had beef with Reggie, like serious beef, like not like internet beef, making videos about each other. No, I mean, it was serious, Chicago beef, right? And Reggie was talking real crazy, acting real crazy. So what the Chicago guy did was he got this girl that he knew, right? She was like really beautiful. He got her to follow Reggie on the internet, on Instagram, and start like DMing him, right? Boom. They start DMing each other. And then they set up a date, right? They're supposed to meet somewhere. Cool. Reggie think he about to get some ass. No. Reggie shows up. Girl's not there. He's not going to get some ass. He's going to get his ass whipped. This is what I've heard. This is, legend has it. This is how the story went. Right? Reggie got fucked up, right? Now, here's the thing. The lesson from that is, you know what I'm saying? You can't think with your dick. Bitches will fuck your whole shit up if you let them. That's the lesson. You really got to be focused. You can't let women distract you when you're trying to get money, right? And I know a lot of guys who spent a lot of money on divorce in like the real business world, right? These guys were multimillionaires, but they got divorced, right? And then they like lose half their money, right? And some of them like never recovered, right? Women will ruin everything if you let them. If you let them, that's how the Bible starts, right? Reggie obviously didn't read. He wasn't a man of faith. I know that. So he obviously didn't read the book of Genesis, right? You know what I'm saying? When Shorty messed up the whole shit for Adam, now we all got to wear clothes, right? Same thing happened to Reggie because he was thinking with his dick instead of thinking with his wallet. He was thinking with his dick instead of keeping his mind on the prize, staying focused. Had he stayed focused, man, he might still be around today. You know what I'm saying? But he got distracted, man. That's how the legend goes. I'm just pretty sure that. So that's the lesson, where stay focused on your grind. Now, if you do get a woman though, who's down for you, who's supportive, who supports you in your drive, then she's an advantage, right? She's an advantage. But if you let your mind wander, run around here chasing hoes, chasing women, especially if you got beef in these streets. But even if you don't got beef in these streets, right? Just they can distract you from the main goal. I know a lot of guys who would be a lot more wealthier if they weren't chasing women all the time, right? That's basically the lesson. Number 5. I learned this lesson. There was this guy. I can't say his name. I was talking to this guy, and he was a big time dope dealer in Brooklyn. Nothing good happens in Brooklyn. You should be aware of that, right? It's one of the worst places on earth, in my opinion, right? And I was talking to him, and I was talking to him about one of my boys who he got sent to prison, right? He's my boy SV. He's in prison for a double homicide, right? And when I was talking to him, the Brooklyn guy casually said, "Man, why ain't he killed a witness though?" And I was like, "What?" But he said it so casual, like that's what you're supposed to do, Brooklyn motherfuckers, right? And what I learned from that is there are some people who are out here really willing to do what you're not willing to do. You know what I'm saying? They're really willing to go to a place where you're not willing to go. And how that translates into the official business world is sometimes you got to like not compare yourself to other people, right? What I never try to say that I'm going to be the biggest YouTuber, or I'm going to be the best at this business, or I'm going to be the best in the world. I just want to be the best I can be because there are people who are willing to do stuff that I'm not willing to do. For example, an easy way to get big on YouTube is to just talk shit about other people on YouTube, right? We've seen a lot of people create, big followings doing that, right? But at what cost? You know what I'm saying? Or there's people who don't care about their families, or would like neglect their children, or will neglect their health to get ahead of you. And I don't think I'm going to beat them people, right? But the beauty of it is it's not a zero-sum game, meaning I don't have to beat them to hit my goals, right? I'm gonna hit my goals no matter what, right? But I don't have to worry about being better than anyone else to hit my goals. Does that make sense? I hope am I making sense here? Right? Because there's some people who are really willing to do shit that you're not willing to do, whether that's ethics, and sometimes we're talking about ethical stuff or morality, right? They may not have morals, they may not have ethics, right? They may not have no like they may be willing to sacrifice anything that I would consider ethical in order to advance, and I'm not. Those people will beat me, at least in the short term. You get what I'm saying? Or for me, I gotta see my son frequently. I gotta spend a lot of time with my son frequently. But there's some people who are like, fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many kids I got, and they're just gonna go do their thing. Right? I'm not gonna beat those people at the thing we're competing with each other with, but I'm not competing. I'm just trying to hit my goals. So when you look at other people accomplishing things, right? And sometimes we have a tendency to look at them and think, man, and feel bad about where we are in relation to them. But you got to remember, man, that, it's not a zero-sum game, right? What they eat don't make you shit. You know what I'm saying? You'll be good no matter what. You just focus on hitting your goals, irrespective of what other people are doing. Okay? Lesson number 6. Show you how I learned this lesson. There's a rapper from Brooklyn named Troy Ave, right? And I know Troy, right? I knew Troy back in New York, and some of his old mixtapes, like I produced beats on some of his mixtapes in the past, right? Bricks in My Backpack series. I have some credits on. I have some credits on the Bricks in My Backpack mixtapes, and my cousin G was really close with Troy and his cousin Banger, and Banger was his cousin was Troy's cousin / bodyguard, and we spent some time together, right? And there was one night in particular in 2016 where Troy was opening up for T.I. at a club, T.I. the rapper, right? And he invited G, and G was like, yo, Brandon, come through, man. Troy performing. We got to go to show love. And I thought about it, and I just knew, some told me, nah, nah. One, because, G was always, around that time, G was always getting in some trouble. He was always getting arrested or shot or something. And then him and Troy together, I just felt like it was going to be a bad situation. It didn't feel like the right crowd for me. That night, there's different accounts of how it went down, but Troy got into an altercation with a dude, right? The dude put out a gun and shot Troy's bodyguard, Banger, dead, right? And then Troy took the gun, and it was a big fucking thing. They're still in court cases for that. And kind of what I learned from that was, man, you really got to watch who you around, right? Because you're going to be, you can be involved in that. Because had I been there that night, I'd have been involved, right? I'm not going to just let you shoot the niggas I'm with like it's all good, right? I'd have been in a shootout, right? And I'm glad I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad I wasn't. And rest in peace to Banger, man. He was a good dude. I'm just sorry that happened to everyone involved, right? But what I learned from that was, listen, you got to watch who you're around and what they're involved in, right? Because I knew Troy was in some beef. I know G was always into some trouble. So how does that relate to the business world? So maybe a year or two ago, everybody was making money off these NFTs, right? Everybody's making money off these NFTs, and people was approaching me. You know, I got 1 million Instagram followers, close to 1 million on here. I got a 1.5 million Facebook fans and big email lists. You know, I got it popping out here, and people was approaching me every day. Yo, man, let's support my NFT project. We'll make some money like this, or let's do some NFT, do it, blah, 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 NFT. Everybody was talking about it. And I was like, something about this don't feel right to me. It was like the same feeling. I didn't trust my gut. Something feel it, you know, I didn't understand it, but I didn't just brush it off. I really researched it as much as possible. And I still walked away feeling like this shit looks like a scam. Like, I'm not saying that the blockchain doesn't have utility, and I'm not even saying I'm right. I'm saying it looks like a scam to me. And I didn't want to be involved in that or associated with it. Right. So I didn't support nobody's NFT projects. I didn't come out with my own NFT. People was offering me money, throwing bags at me, and I turned them down. Now, when we look at the NFT market, it's down over 90% from the highs. Only people who really made money off that shit was, you know, some people probably made some money flipping it, right? Flipping them for sure. But the majority of people ended up bag holders. They bought the shit and they can't move that shit now, right? And people bought it at the highs and now they just lost money, right? There's no, it definitely panned out the way I thought it would pan out, right? And I would feel like a fucking, can you imagine if I convinced all y'all to buy NFTs and I made a bunch of money and y'all was just bag holders, like y'all wouldn't like trust me no more, right? And you shouldn't. Right? You know what I'm saying? Or if I was promoting FTX, telling you guys, man, to give a hug with FTX, you know? And now look at it, right? So you really got to watch who you're involved in, what you're involved with, because you can get wrapped up in that shit. And that's what I learned from Troy shooting up the club. All right. Lesson number 7. Hey, this one I learned from, all right, I don't want to use the name. I'm not going to use the real name. We're going to call it Kyle. My boy Kyle. All right. And Kyle was a dope dealer, right? And there was this kid who always was coming up to him trying to work for him, but he was like real hungry. But he wasn't like hungry, like I want to work with you. He was like thirsty, right? It was weird. He had a weird energy, right, about him. And Kyle kept kind of blowing him off. But then Kyle had a bunch of fucking dope he needed to move, right? So what did Kyle do? He said, all right, so this kid, I'm going to put him to work. I'm going to fucking, he fronted him a bunch of dope, right? And he was supposed to sell it and then bring, you know, it back to Kyle. And then, you know how that works, right? Guess what happens? The kid says he got robbed. And maybe he did, but I don't know, right? He says he got robbed, right? Man, maybe he did, or maybe not, right? But now Kyle needs that money. He still needs that money or that dope, right? So Kyle had to, I don't want to say too much. I don't know what I would say. Kyle had to go through some extreme lengths to get that money back. I'll just put it like that, you know? And he didn't get it back, and I don't know. It was a bad situation for everyone involved, especially the people who got fucking tied up, right? And pistol whipped. Allegedly, this is what I hear, right? And what I learned from that situation was, yo, man, do not do business with desperate people. Because a motherfucker who's desperate may do fucking anything, right? He may not have no morals. He may not have no integrity. He'll do anything to come up, right? You got to deal with people based off like their reputation and people who you can trust. And if you're going to trust someone, first trust them with something small, right? See how they behave, right? And then once they've earned your trust, then you can trust them with bigger things. But Kyle went and just gave this dude fucking mad dope. and without vetting him appropriately. But he was too thirsty, right? He was desperate. And people who are desperate, they end up in those situations because of their behavior in the past. Like, we're all living the results of our actions in the past, right? We're all living the results of our past, right? So if a motherfucker ends up in a desperate situation, it's probably because he acted a certain way in the past and now he's living the results of it, right? So you don't want to do business with motherfuckers who are desperate, because they're probably desperate for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Number 8. Now, none of the people in this story are drug dealers or pimps, but it's an interesting story. So my dad, those of y'all know my dad, we grew up poor, but when I got sent away to military school. By the time I graduated from military school, he was making about $8 million. He was making $3 million a year, adjusted for inflation. That's $8 million. Now, he later lost it by the time I graduated from college, so I didn't experience any of it. But I did hear about this story. So one of his colleagues got sent to prison, right? I don't want to talk about why, right? But it was somebody he was cool with, right? He got sent to prison, the homie Al, and he did a bid, right? But he didn't snitch. He didn't snitch on nobody, and he just did it. He took it. He did his bid like a man. Came out of prison. My dad was waiting for him, right? My dad is the one who picked him up from prison, right? My dad was in a brand new Cadillac. This was like at the height of my dad's, balling, right? Picked him up in the Cadillac. He said, "Yo, Al, what up, man? What's going on?" He's happy to see him. Al was like, "Man, it's a real nice car." My dad was like, "Yeah, you like it?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "It's yours." He's like, "What?" It's yours. My dad picked him up from prison, got him a Cadillac, right? And he took care of Al, right? Because Al was his man's, right? Al eventually gets a job, right? He's a accounting teacher at Howard University School of Business. That's where I went to college. So I could not, my GPA was only 3.5. So Howard let me in with a 3.5, but they didn't want to let me in the School of Business because it's really hard to get in Howard University School of Business, right? My SAT scores were super high, but my GPA 3.5 kind of didn't cut it to get in the Howard School of Business. They said you can go to Howard School and maybe transfer if your grades are good. But because Al and my dad had that relationship, Al was able to pull some strings, talk to some people. Next thing you know, I'm in Howard School of B. You know what I'm saying? And it's a hard school to get into. Like, I got accepted to DePaul School of Business. I got accepted to Michigan State, like a bunch of good schools. But Howard was like, "Nah, you ain't good enough." It's a good school like that. And Al looked out for me. So, but it's because him and my dad had been looking out for each other for years, right? So the moral of that story is, yo, man, you really got to take care of the people who take care of you, right? The people who got your back. You know what I'm saying? And how that works in the real world is I got some friends maybe we do business with, or maybe they just have businesses. And anytime I need some help, anytime I need some advice, I can lean on them, right? I can ask them for help, but I try to never ask for it, right? But I'm always down to help them. And when I look at it like what I call the reciprocity bank, right? I'm always trying to do way more for my friends and colleagues than I ask them for. This way, if I ever need it, I built up this big reservoir of reciprocity, right? But I always want to be making deposits. I want to withdraw as little as possible, right? So I'm always trying to give way more than I get to everybody. And this way, when I do need something, hey man, hey man, can you introduce me to some? They're excited to help me out because I've helped them out so much. Does that make sense? Right? Because my dad took care of Al's family while he was away. Right? While he was in prison, my dad was taking care of his family. When he got out of prison, my dad would pay for him and his family to go on vacations and do shit. You know, he really took care of Al. So Al looked out for me when it was time, which was really looking out for my dad because he didn't really know me like that, right? So all my business relationships, I always try to give more than I can get. I'm always looking for ways to actually help out people I do business with, help them get deals, help them make some money, putting people together so they can make money together, introducing to people, whatever I can do. And hopefully I never need it. But if I do, I got a long list of people who would be excited to help me out and repays that favor, right? It's definitely helped me out a lot in life. Number 9, the same guy I told you, his fake name. His name is Kyle. I don't want to say his real name, right? But Kyle was a big time dope dealer, and he had some good dope, right? How do we know this? Because he fucking sold it to this one kid, and this kid overdosed and died. Now it's weird. It's a weird thing about junkies. When a motherfucker overdoses off some shit, the junkies want that shit. It's like the weirdest shit in the world. I can't explain it. It's like, yo, that's that fire, right? So Kyle had a huge demand, and Kyle didn't want to step on it, right? Meaning he didn't want to like stretch it out. You know, a lot of times dope dealers will put other shit inside the dope to stretch it out, right? Kyle didn't want to step on it too much because he had that shit and people was excited and he was getting it for a good deal. But the fucking junkies, I'm sorry, I don't want to say that like it's a joke. Junkies kept dying, right? To the fact where he kind of fucked up his customer base, right? Like it wasn't enough junkies at some point, right? Then he later bounced back, but it was a big dip in business because the junkies kept dying, right? Here's how that relates to real business. Your customers, you got to take care of them, right? You got to really make sure that your customers are getting the best thing for them, right? So they survive and they want more. So how did I use that was, you know, when I had my business, High Ticket Trainer, where I teach trainers how to build their online fitness business, man, we go out of our way to make sure that these guys succeed, right? And I'm always kind of adding stuff to the program, making it better, it started off with just me doing a live call once a week, right? I still do that, but now we have 4 different live calls a week, like, you know, on different subjects. So anytime our students need help, they can get it, right? We also assign each student their own one-on-one coach, right? Someone that they can work with directly, one-on-one, to make sure that they succeed, right? And then we have 24-hour support. If they have any questions, if they're stuck on anything, I have a whole team of people to answer their questions and make sure that they, you know, can resolve the problem so they can get back to making money. Because if they make money, 2 things happen. 1, we get a good testimonial from them, right? And then we can use that in our advertisements, and we can use that to get more clients, right? Also, we get referrals from them, tons of referrals from people, right? And they just stay with us longer, so we make more money, right? Everybody wins, right? So you really got to take care of your customers or whatever you're selling to make sure that they succeed. 1, so they keep paying you, right? And they're happy to. They happily keep paying you, right? And you can use them as testimonials, so they'll bring more people in, right? And then also, so they can actually so they can spread the word for you. They start marketing for you. Word of mouth marketing is the most powerful, right? And then number 10. So again, one of my old OGs, Selmo, when I first started working with him, I was just like one of the minions, you know, ground level. Selmo was like a real G in the streets back in DC. And anytime Selmo hit me, he would text me or call me, and then whatever he needed, it didn't matter when it was, I'd be like, yo, I'm on it, right? I need you to take this here. I need you to do this. I need you to go here. I would always be like, yeah, no matter what, skip school, whatever. Because I was in college when I was first started. You know what I'm saying? If I needed to skip school, if I needed to fucking leave I left the date, you know, listen, I gotta go, right? anytime Selmo hit me up, I would put in that work. And so Selmo trusted me more, and I became the go-to guy, and I was able to rise through the ranks a lot quicker. Not only did I get more work and make more money, I learned way more from Selmo. Right? I was able to take more. I was able to learn more knowledge from him, which is what I really wanted. I didn't want to be a worker forever, right? And I kind of just took that same work ethic. Right. And I outworked everybody on the team. And then he noticed that, and other people noticed that, and they saw me hustling, right? And then just a lot more opportunities came my way. What I noticed was that work ethic was uncommon, right? Most people are trying to see how much they can get away with or how little they can do. I was trying to see how much I can do. I was like, yo, anything else you need, man? Yo, what else? What else? You know, people don't have that. But if you approach life with that, you'll stand out way above everyone else, right? It's easy to win when you have that attitude, when you're going all out and you're willing to outwork everyone, right? When you're willing to put in that extra effort. And most people never do it, right? So I took that to every job I had. When I was working 4 jobs, when I worked for the moving company, I would tell myself, man, you know, I'm gonna be the hardest worker on this job today. I'm trying my best to be the hardest worker, right? And it became fun. What people don't understand is when you're lazy, you actually do yourself a disservice because you make the job more boring. But if you're going hard, even if it's a menial task, right? If you can create a game out, how fast can I work? It becomes more fun, but then people start to see you working, and then you get more opportunities, right? And then if you do that in your own business, your customers will see that, right? And they'll be more happy to work with you. They're going to get better results. You'll just make more money. It'll be easy, way easier for your business to actually, you know, it'll be way easier to grow your business under those circumstances. For example, my girl's starting a business right now. She had to get some sort of insurance stuff, right? And she got some referrals from this insurance company, but this person was like not hitting her back, right? He took like 2 days to hit her back or something. And she went and just she paid more for an insurance company that she found, right? Twice as much, right? But these people hit her back right away, right? Like within like minutes, you know what I'm saying, of her first hitting them up. And she was like, oh, that's the kind of people I want to work with. She actually paid more for the same thing because she got better service, right? And I saw that again in my business. I was working with a CRM, with an email CRM. And it was this one I worked with. It was called Aweber. It was really good at the time, but then other businesses came out, competitors came out with better features and stuff. But I stuck with Aweber always for a long time. We recently moved, but that wasn't my choice. That was someone on my team. But while I was in charge of that part of the business, I stayed with Aweber the whole time. Why? Because every time I called, a fucking human picked up from America and answered my question, you know, and they helped me right on the spot. It was the best customer service experience I ever had with any company. And I stuck with them for years and paid them thousands and thousands of dollars over the years. And I wouldn't leave even when other people were better and cheaper, right? Just because of that customer service, I didn't want to leave, right? And it just goes to show, if you go all out, it's real easy to win, right? If you apply these lessons that I learned from drug dealers and pimps to your life and business, I think you're going to see way better results. I know for a fact that you're going to see better results in your life and in your business. All right. Make sure you implement those. And if you click somewhere around here, I'll have other videos that help you build your business as well. We got Romulus in a minute, man. Oh, it's time for Romulus? You know what? Let's jump right into it, man. Market update. Let's get it. Romulus, what up, big dog?
Oh, Brandon, once again, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come around here. Every time I check in, I got to make some time either tonight, tomorrow, and listen to the rest of the stuff that I missed because
come on, man.
You guys only let me in the show. I sit there and I wait, I'm ready to go, Oh, there you go. Boom, he lets him in. So as you were talking, I know that you can't see the questions that come up because you're busy taking care of your audience out there. But somebody popped something in there and said, Brandon, how do you maintain a level of hunger? How do you maintain that passion when you've attained a level of success? And I think you and I can both speak to this because we come from, let's just say, humble backgrounds and beginnings.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm a little bit older, but not an ancient guy, but a little bit older. Back when I grew up, let me tell you how I got clothes. You know how I got clothes, Brandon? I had friends of mine that had older brothers, and my friends would steal their older brother's clothes and give them to me.
Oh shit! Yeah, man.
No, that's the truth.
Be like that sometimes, man.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's how I grew up. Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody asked, how do you maintain that? Here's the thing, and I'm going to answer this question very directly. And whoever put it in there, a good idea to think of it. But it's not as if you maintain a level of hunger. It's not as if you keep going. It's just who the hell you are.
Come on, man.
The shark is going to kick ass in the ocean like nobody's business. He's the apex predator. But if you put him on land, he cannot compete with the tiger. But in the water, it's just what he is. It's not like he has to remind himself, oh, wait a minute. I'm a shark. I can't be playing with these minnows and guppies. I got to eat their ass.
You know what
he
I'm
doesn't
saying?
need to remind himself or talk himself into it or get motivated or listen to a music video and he just does it because it's who he is. It's what he does. There is no other choice. And that's how you become. Have you guys noticed that Elon Musk has been either the wealthiest man in the world or one of the top 10 for the past 10 years or more? I mean, the guy, he's been killing it for 20 something years. And let's face it, after he sold PayPal in 2000, the PayPal mafia, he took his cut, paid his taxes, and he had about 50 million for himself. They all had about 50, 60 million each. It was about 9 or 10 of them. Okay, this was after taxes. They had that money. And this is the year 2000. I mean, that's good money today, let alone 23 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So he could have said, all right, I can go almost buy an entire island. I can check out for the rest of my life. And yet, what does he do? He goes on and he creates a company that's about to land men on Mars. That's right, Mars. He builds the largest electric vehicle company in the entire world. And he's still going. He's still going. Look, I'm sure he takes vacations. I'm sure he spends time with his 7 or 8 different kids. But it's just who he is. Yeah, he's got a lot of kids.
He's out here, man. This is what he does. For me, it's like I'm just trying to push myself, man. I'm trying to see what I'm made of. Yeah,
but it's I'm telling you, it's not like you have to get up every morning and remind yourself of, oh, wait a minute, I gotta who am I? It's just who you are.
Yeah.
And you ever heard the term culture eats strategy for lunch? You ever heard that phrase?
Never heard that.
All right. So you can sit down as a business, a sports team, any operation, any combination of people trying to win something or gain something or improve something or make something, any combination. And you can get a tactic and a strategy together. But you know what wins and beats the shit out of it all the time? It's just who you are and how you are as an operation. You just get up and this is what you do. Excellence isn't what you try to pursue. It is what you pursue because you don't know any other way.
Come on, man.
Okay? Now, this business that I'm in, the business that I've been teaching you for the last couple of years and you're doing great at now, it's not easy. Okay, it can be taught. I teach it to people all the time, but you just can't wake up and say, yep, I'm a great stock trader. Thank you very much. No, it's very challenging, very difficult. Okay. Matter of fact, it's one of the more challenging professions and pursuits out there in the entire world. But I learned something 23, 24 years ago. It was the guy that the head of research at Morgan Stanley told me this. He said, I love it. You get up every morning and you get to go head to head with the smartest people on the planet. The smartest people on the planet is who you're competing against. It's awesome. And you're doing that every day of the week. And boy, if you're going to do that successfully, as we do, as we prove, as we accomplish every day, you better be at the top of your game or you're going to get rolled. Okay. You're absolutely going to get rolled. So that's exciting. Glad to be here again. Don't forget, everybody, Victory Unit, Greg and I, he's my main legatus, my main right hand here. We've got another session. We call it a Trader Town Hall. We do that Wednesdays now, 4:15 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh yeah, in the Discord.
Oh, it's exclusive.
Make sure you join.
Listen, Brandon, it's exclusive in your Discord.
Come on, man.
I don't do it anywhere else.
Let's go.
I don't do it. I get invitations all the time to do these things. I don't do something like this anywhere else. It is only in the Victory Unit Discord, and it's Wednesdays at 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. And if you jump in there today, go ahead and sign up. I mean, all you got to do is click a link and give an email, I think, and you're signed up. You can check us out tomorrow, 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. We talk 30, 40 minutes. We usually have 1 or 2 really great topics, and then we move on. So something helpful, but short to the point. Okay.
Yeah, make sure you join the
Doing more.
Discord if you're trying to learn how to trade, make
Yeah,
money in
please
these
get on
markets.
there.
Join that for
Yeah.
sure. What's
So-
going on with the markets?
Yeah, let's check it out. We're going to go do a screen share here like we do on our Tuesday podcast, and it should be, there we go. All right. Got the S&P 500 up here through the exchange traded fund SPY. This is how you can actually trade the markets out there. And from the middle of March, almost from the middle of March, there's been an uptrend in place. But I wonder, where's the fuel to keep pushing this thing higher and higher? This comes in because typically the end of a quarter, if there's been some action and there's a little bit of demand, you can push stocks higher into the beginning or to the end of a quarter and to the beginning of the new quarter. And it's kind of what you're seeing right now. And it's pretty wild, the conditions. I'm reading from some of the more accomplished, some of the more seasoned, some of the more experienced money managers from all corners of the world. You know, guys that are my age or older. People have been through the wars, the dot-com crash, the Lehman bankruptcy, the WorldCom financial fraud, you know, the big deals out there. Okay. COVID, you know, we chew it up and spit it out kind of thing. The grizzled veterans of the business. And I'm hearing from these people from different corners of the world. I do stay in touch still. And they're telling me, hey, man, this is the hardest market, the most challenging market I can ever remember. Like, damn, you lived through the 87 crash. Are you serious? Like, yeah, it's crazy because you don't have any trends. You get going in one direction, boom, it changes. And you get going in that direction, boom, it changes. Okay. You don't have any consistency out here. You got inflation, well, then it disappears. And oil prices run up for a while, and we think inflation's coming back. And the Fed's cutting rate or raising rates, well, then they might cut them. Now they're talking about raising them again. I mean, everybody, it seems, except for people that are in our legion, have their heads spinning round and round and round like it's something out of a Chucky movie. Okay. kind of frightening stuff out there. So as I say, though, shorter term, what's going to be happening? Expect a little more of a pressure market over the next, I don't know, couple of weeks, more likely than not, as conditions got a little overbought. And you didn't come with the real fuel. You didn't come with the fire for.
There's no volume on it. What I noticed is like there's been no volume in this upswing.
And that's a problem. Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You remember back in February, January, February, we were talking about by the end of March, the S&P 500 was going to get near maybe 3% higher. So of the June lows, not the October lows, but the June lows. It almost got there. So we'll call that close enough for government work. Plus, we know how to make money in those conditions. But you know what was interesting, and something we didn't bring up the last couple of weeks, is the actual Russell 2000, which, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please
join the Discord.
Do not fret, do not worry. These are things that you will learn, not instantly, not tomorrow, not with a snap of a finger. I can't just pour water on you and watch you grow like some kind of a weed in the stock market stuff. It doesn't work like that. But anybody can learn this that has an acumen and an interest. Okay, anybody can. Now look at this, Russell 2000. Look how bad this got. I don't think this has been talked about enough. It got within a spit of not just the June lows. I mean, it got through there the October lows. Look how close this got down 2 weeks ago.
And this is where most of the stocks are, right?
There's 2,000 of them. There's 3,800 stocks that trade on the U.S. exchanges. 2,000 of them trade here. So obviously that's a majority by a slight bit. This is important. That's why we're telling you so. That's amazing that it got. I mean, look, here's the Russell. Now look at the difference real quick. Here's the S&P 500. It's nowhere near the October lows. It didn't even pierce the December lows.
Yeah.
Now we'll go back to the small groups. Look how bad that got.
Yeah. That's a sign. That's a divergence. Right?
There we go. So in the world of trader talk, we call that a bearish or a negative divergence. One indicator or one index is doing one thing. The other is not agreeing and it's doing something negative. So they're separating. They're going different ways. They're not agreeing with each other. And this is a negative divergence. This is a serious one because, again, the Russell 2000 should be a place that helps lead the market higher, and it's not doing that. As a matter of fact, it was coming down. Now, one area of the Russell 2000 and the small cap arena is small cap biotechnology stocks, which there's, I don't know, hundreds of these things. Not only did this get down past through the June lows, but it officially got through. Last week, this hit a new bear market low. And no one, Brandon, no one is talking about this. No one. The biotech index crashed and made a new bear market low. Nothing else did. Not even the Russell. Nothing else did.
Not even the financial sector.
No, look. See?
Oh, they came close.
They did, but they didn't quite get there. All right. They didn't quite get there.
What I've been wondering, Romulus, is how can you have how can you have? How can the S&P 500 be on an uptrend while the financial markets are plummeting?
Well,
Like that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
yeah. Well, sometimes you can go out, I don't know, to the bar, to the club, let's say, where some of these Legion members will hang out on occasion on a Friday or a Saturday night. You and I are sitting there staying sober and getting ready to dominate some more. They might be out and about and they see a homely looking cat and they said, man, look at him. He's over there getting the chicks. I mean, how's that even happening? He's not a baller of any kind.
Yeah.
It's an anomaly, right? It's something that doesn't really make sense. And you know that it's not something that's going to last. Unless he's got a lot of dough, right? Because we know the chicks are all about the
if he got some money, then he can
that's it right there. I've heard this all the time. Bull markets must be led by financials. That's one of those just idiotic things that gets thrown out there from other YouTube idiots that don't really understand. Bull markets don't need to be led by financials, but any bull market or any sustainable uptrend, the financials at least should be doing well enough to hold their own.
Yeah.
And you're right, they're not. Obviously, you can see how destructive they have been in their charts and their trading the last several weeks. And you're right. It's a great point to remember. This is a problem for the market. And look, there's not a big consensus out there where 98% of all traders and investors are agreeing with each other that, hey, we are in a bull market. It's not like that. We have a lot of disagreeing opinions out there, which is why we get this up and down whipsaw, trendless kind of action. But I'll tell you this. If there are bulls out there, you need to look at the financial charts and reconsider your ideas, reassess your thesis, because I know they don't have to lead a bull market, but there's no sustainable uptrend,
right?
There's no sustainable uptrend with the financials doing this, where they're just basically puking on themselves every day.
And can there be a real uptrend if the small caps are not involved?
I've seen occasions where that's happened late in a bull market, where the small caps die, but the favorites, the big favorites, think the .com stuff. I mean, think a year and a half ago, the smalls fell out, but the Apples and Microsofts kept going. But it's not something that you can see from the beginning of a new bull. You need to see the small guys out there. The generals have to be behind the foot soldiers. And in this case, and the rally from the last couple of weeks, I mean, okay, look at this chart. Take a look. Let it kind of burn in your brain for a minute. Now look at this one. Can you see a difference?
Yeah.
Of course. This particular group of stocks is led by the biggest stocks in the world. It's led by Apple. It's led by Microsoft. It's led by Google. Well, that's it. I mean, those are the three. Okay. It's a little bit of Amazon, but mostly those three. So look at the difference. It's not a sustainable, safe situation. That's not something I trust for the intermediate or longer term.
Right. It's like a few stocks. So what I'm hearing is a few stocks, a few companies pushing the market up.
Yeah, and that's always that's a thin rally. What you want is a river that's both deep and wide. You want both characteristics and traits. You cannot just have one. A thin rally is always dangerous. It's always a matter of time before it crashes in. And people say, well, look, Ramos, Apple's still going up. Yeah, and I'm just looking at my watch, counting the days until you lose that money.
Yeah, and if you look at the cues right there, it's like it's not going up with volume.
Again, you're right.
Going down as it goes up.
You see it's going up, but you see this kind of the trend down here, right?
That's a negative. I mean, that's a divergence if I've ever seen one, right? Am I right? Am I
you're not. You're wrong. You're right 100%. And that's a problem for if people think this is going to sustain itself. If you're going to keep pushing higher for the next several months and make all this money, and I'm suggesting to you, check yourself. Okay, reassess your theories, because you're probably going to get hurt within the next 6 months or less in a way that you wish you never heard the word stock. Now, it may not get that bad, but I'm ready for the worst. You know, we're preparing for that. We're ready for some bad times. And if it wants to go higher, we go higher with it. Now, speaking of that, our guy Greg was passionately talking about gold for the last couple of weeks.
Oh, we made some money off this one, didn't we?
Sure did. Yep, we sure did. So gold, I'm going to break this one, put it on a weekly chart and really show some longer term situations. I don't think anyone here will mind, right? Hang on here.
Nah, man, show us what's up.
We've got the gold chart here, and this is on a weekly. So every one of these bars, whether green or red, is representing one full week of trading. The all-time high right there, August of 2020. So that was roughly 5 months after the COVID lows. 2,089 an ounce. And then look what happens right here. On May of 2022, a little less than 2 years later, it comes up there and almost tags the same point. Okay, comes up right up on there, and then it comes down through it. Now, in traditional technical analysis terms, that would now be called the double top because it comes down through the bottom. And you measure this out from the bottom to the top and think, well, my goodness, that can go a lot lower. Like you measure it, it could go, but it didn't. It broke itself from that bad news situation. It interrupted its destiny and created a new destiny. Hey, okay, that does happen. Not often, but it does happen sometimes, and you need to adjust and adapt your trading to face the realities of the situation. So Greg picked up on this quite well, was buying GLD and calls on gold, and then bye-bye birdie, just blasted off to space.
Yeah,
and
we made a lot of money off that trade.
Yeah, this was a nice trading operation, nice trades for all of everybody in the Legion. And there you go. Can it break to a new all-time high? I don't know, but you know what? It's almost on a weekly basis, almost ready to close at a new high, and that's going to be important. It's got a little bit to go, but it might just get there. Now, what's going on?
The head and shoulders. I always have a hard time noticing the head and shoulders pattern.
Well, that's because back in the market crashed in October of 1929.
Yeah.
Up until that point, we'd had pullbacks, bear markets, but there was never a one-day affair that was just so dramatic. The middle of October of 1929, the Dow crashed and then proceeded to fall from its highs of the summer of 29 till the May of 32 low. The Dow fell 89%. The Dow fell 89%. And then we know what happened. The Great Depression set in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, back in the gold situation, we were told forever that gold was an inflation hedge. And for many years, Brandon, it was. In the 70s, for example, which before what happened last year was the highest bout of inflation that America ever experienced. And gold prices did quite well. Stocks were getting hammered. A lot of other things went down, but gold prices did quite well. So there was this theory, hey, gold must be an inflation hedge. Now, there's a lot to counter that. But last year, which was when we had all that inflation, gold did poorly last year.
Yeah.
I mean, look, here's 2022. It fell just like the rest of the stock market.
Bitcoin did the same, right?
They
said that was going to be the new inflation hedge.
But neither one of them answered the call to be an inflation hedge. They failed miserably at answering up to that title. But look what's happened lately. It's quite outperformed the American stock market from the mid-October lows, and it's continuing to do well. Well, look what else is happening during that same time, though. Look at that. This is the dollar versus the basket of major Western trading partner currencies. Look, as gold has been going higher or the dollar's been going lower, here it is. Gold is not an inflation hedge. Gold is a dollar weakness hedge. That's what it is. Oh, I get okay.
No, that makes total sense.
Now it's clearing up a little bit. Now, Bitcoin is acting a little bit like that as well. Okay, not quite the same as gold. Okay, you could see the charts look a lot different there. Gold has just been looking quite better. But that's 2 years ago, Brandon and I called the top on the crypto market and Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all of them.
Yes, when you told me to sell everything, and I was very happy about that.
Yeah, we did well with all that stuff. And I was buying Ethereum
at the top.
I was a buy and holder of Ethereum. Like I bought it every month. I had a great average cost. I sold it from my average till when I sold it, I made 62%. Thank you very much. It was great. But here's the thing. There's always people out there, we call them perma bears, that are always saying, well, whatever, like Bitcoin or back in the dot-com days, the tech companies or the housing stocks. Oh, they're going to crash. Well, eventually that perma bear is going to be right. Eventually he's going to be right. And there were Bitcoin and cryptocurrency perma bears, from 10 years ago. Every year they'd say, oh, it's going to crash. And then 2 years ago, like, see, I told you. Yeah, but you told me Bitcoin was going to crash when it was at $500.
Yeah.
It makes it to 65,000 or whatever. And then, what about all that? And it never did go back to $500. Like, so you're wrong as wrong can be. I'm not a perma bear. I'm not a perma bull either.
Yeah. We just take what the market gives us.
You take the reality and make it yours. And I was a crypto bull for a long time. I was a crypto bull for a very long time. And then I called the exact top in 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the last couple of months, I haven't been bullish or bearish about Bitcoin prices, What I've been bearish about is the exchanges that operate these things.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? The exchanges.
Continue to beat the drum about this. Every week there's another arrest. There's another arrest warrant, or another crypto exchange gets shut down. If this guy ZZ from Binance, if he ever leaves the sanctity of Abu Dhabi, I think he'll be arrested. Okay, they know that he won't leave, so they're not bothering. But Binance is toast eventually. Toast. You can write that down within 2 years or less. Binance will disappear. It's the exchanges that I have a problem with. Okay. So tomorrow at our Trader Town Hall at the Victory Unit, everybody, Greg and I are going to be talking about ways that you can still benefit, because if these exchanges have problems, the Bitcoin itself will suffer in a way that you don't think that it can.
For sure.
But there's still some ideas that can get you involved in Bitcoin, get you involved in cryptocurrency without taking that cryptocurrency exchange risk. And that's going to be important. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. And I really hope that we have a ton of people joining us.
Join the Discord if you want to be involved in that. If you want to really learn how to make more money in the markets for free, join the Discord. It's going to be, and then doing Greg and Romulus going to be in there live.
Trader Town Hall, everybody.
Come on, man. Well, listen, man. Yo, Romulus, thank you so much, man. It's been truly insightful, and it's excited to see. So basically what you're saying is we can expect lower prices in the next 6 months from S&P 500. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, lower prices from the S&P, probably higher prices from gold, and maybe higher prices from Bitcoin and the cryptos if the exchanges get left alone from the regulators. But again, tomorrow we'll talk about a way, and maybe a couple of ways, that you can be involved in crypto without taking that risk in case the regulators decide to keep smashing the exchanges.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Thank you, Romulus. Don't you?
Appreciate it, brother. Let's get my man.
Absolutely great. See you, Brandon. Awesome. I'll see you soon. Take care.
All right, take it easy. I hit the wrong button. Yo, do we have some super chats?
We do. We have a few.
Oh, what's up? What they talking about?
We have Tony Parker. What's better, insurance sales or solar sales?
You know what, man? I know a lot of people making a lot of money in solar sales. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I know a lot of people making money. I love sales because you can kind of write your own ticket, right? So I would say, if it's, instead of looking at the industry, you should look at the companies, right? So if you can find a company that you believe in, like a product that you really believe in, that you can get excited about, that's the one you're going to be able to sell the best. Like I've tried to sell shit that I didn't believe in before. It doesn't work. It doesn't work well. I'm an expert salesman, so I could do it, but I couldn't do it well, right? Well, then I made the decision to only sell products I really believed in, and that enthusiasm is contagious. They can feel it. People can tell when you bullshitting them a little bit. There's something there. So you find the company, not the industry, the company that you with the product that you really believe in, and you're going to be a lot more excited about it, and you're going to sell better. Enthusiasm in sales will beat anything.
We have JPB. Hi, can you say hi to my friend XL? Thanks. Keto snacks.
Yo, what up, XL? You know what it is.
Good stream.
Hey, man, I believe you, man. Man, my man's name is a Bible verse.
And he gave an extra $9.99.
Come on, man. The Lord. The Lord thanks you, brother. Come on now.
Tupac. I know you read a lot of nonfiction, but what about memoirs and autobiographies? What's your favorite memoir?
I don't really read memoirs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm sure they're good. I guess the best one, the best one is that I read, but it's a small sample size, right? Is Malcolm X's autobiography, co-written by Alex Haley. That's probably the one that's impacted me the most. I read that when I was 16. There's a lot of jewels in there. Another good one is I forget the title of it, but it's Sam Walton's autobiography. Sam was a G, man. He made, founder of Sam's Club and Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
We have Income Tools.
Income Tools back at it again.
What's
up?
Anyway, I can practice my storytelling like you. Also, how much would you recommend someone have to be mentored or work with you?
How would you recommend someone have to be? The only mentorship I do is people who want to start an online fitness business, right? So if that's not what you're into, then I'm not the right guy for you, right? However, there is an opportunity for everyone to get mentorship from me for free. And my new course is coming out. It's going to be free, called Baller Mindset. Yep. Me and Nima recorded it last week or the week before that.
I think we did it the week before that.
2 weeks ago. So now it's being edited. What you about, like halfway through editing it?
More than half.
More than halfway through. We're trying to have it done by
I was saying 10 days or so.
10 days.
It's going to be ready, but then
then we got to make the website and everything, right? But yeah, it's going to be free. And the Victory Unit members are going to get access first. So join the Discord, right? It's going to be free. And it's, Nima, how good is Baller Mindset? You was there.
Actually, I have a really good comment. So my team that are working on the production are becoming ballers by the end of editing the course.
You have to hire new people, man, because they're going to be out balling.
It's really good. Like honestly, it's amazing.
My goal was to make it better than people's free shit. I mean, better than people's paid shit. Even though it's a free program, I want it to be better than the shit you pay for. You buy a course from someone. I buy a lot of courses, even now, right? I still buy courses and go through them. And motherfuckers' YouTube videos don't be better than the courses that I paid for. There's a lot of guys like that. Like, I don't want to say no names because I ain't trying to shit on them. But it'd be like, damn, man, like, you put no production in it. Like, you didn't really even go hard. Like, the YouTube videos are better. Not everybody, but there's a lot of them. I was like, I want my shit to be better than my YouTube videos and better than, like, we were putting a lot of time and effort into it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be dope.
It's really good. It's really good.
I spent over shit, man. I started working on the content in like fucking December. Maybe it was like November. I was like working on getting the content together. And then when I was finally ready, all right, let's record it. I spent like fucking months on that shit. What else we got?
The storytelling like you.
Oh, the storytelling. I don't know, man. You got to have some good stories. Like, I lived an eclectic life. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot. I think you just got to get out here and live more. And then, there's no, like, I don't follow like a specific formula as far as telling stories. I just lived a life. I remember I was reading an interview with a rapper. It was Black Thought from The Roots, right? They on Jimmy Kimmel now, or one of them shits, whatever. The Tonight Show now, right? But he used to be like a big, underground rappers, The Roots, And I read an interview say like, yo, man, if you a rapper, you got to go out and live life. Otherwise, all your music is gonna be about music. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get good at telling stories, you got to live life. So your stories will have, so you don't have stories just about fucking YouTube or some shit,
You have Turner Burner 922.
Turner Burner. Come on.
Small. That was pretty low.
Yeah, I had put it.
Sorry.
We can do it again. We can do it.
Turner Burner. What up?
Small donation towards Repellent.
Mm.
Also, do you have merch or anything? Some of your sayings are inspirational, hilarious, or both. My favorite. If you don't sacrifice for your goals become the sacrifice.
Hey man. That's a good idea, Turner Burner. You know what I'm saying? That's a good idea. Right now, all we just putting all our focus right now in the thought repellent. Right now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So we ain't got no merch though, but that's a good idea.
You got Fusty 300.
Mm.
Do you ever procrastinate adhering to a schedule?
I think we all have moments, The difference between me and most people is if I like procrastinate or I miss something or I don't work as hard as I should, I hate myself. Right? Like I kind of hate myself if I don't get shit done. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I got to make sure I don't procrastinate because if I do, it's like not accomplishing the thing won't be as bad as how I feel about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll really like look down on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, this ain't the man you supposed to be. Martin Luther King didn't die for you to sit around watching Netflix, you fucking bitch. This is what I say to myself. Like if you talk to a child the way I talk to myself, man, it'd be like, I think they would consider that abuse. Like I try I really go out of my way to not procrastinate because that's the only way I can love myself. What else
You also had a video on procrastination.
Yeah, there's a video on procrastination. You should check it on my page, man. Showed you all about it. You know what I'm saying?
Frosty300 also asked how to have maxed out energy aside from caffeine.
Listen, caffeine is that shit. Caffeine is the shit, man. Sleep more. Like get sleep. But not only you get sleep, you sleep like you mean it. Like, so I got this thing right here, Oura Ring, to track not only how much I sleep, but how well I sleep. Right? The deep sleep, the REM sleep. Because if you sleep, if you're well rested, you'll have more energy. So a lot of times a lot of you guys don't need more energy. You need more sleep. Right? So I average 7.5 hours in bed every night, but this shows that I sleep around maybe 6.5, 7 hours of sleep. And that's what I need. But I'm in bed for like 7 hours, right? So, you don't sleep all the way, And I really measure how well I sleep too, right? So I've taken a lot of efforts, much to the chagrin of my girlfriend, me and more. I keep the room mucho frio because I sleep better than that. I sleep on something called a chili pad. It's like this thing that goes on top of the mattress. That's like makes it super cold. So like it feels like you're sleeping on the cool side of the pillow. And I noticed that I sleep better with that, and just a bunch of shit. I'm playing white noise. I'm wearing a fucking eye mask. I'm doing every trick in the book to get better sleep, because that's how you get the most energy.
We have Asian.
All
Did
right.
you ever have a problem waking up sleeping on time?
You have a problem waking up and sleeping on time? I mean, yeah, sometimes like if I don't get a good night's sleep for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that could be an issue, and that's usually a bad day for me. Kind of hate myself a little bit. But you just gotta like roll with the punches. That kind of shit is gonna happen sometimes. But you wanna try to stay on the schedule, right? Yeah, if I stay up, it's not because I'm up bullshitting, right? You know what I'm saying? It's for a good reason if I stayed up.
Come again, sorry, you were muted.
Oh, if I stay up, it's for a good reason. You know what I'm saying? It ain't because I'm bullshitting. All right.
Like
I know we got some more.
You were saying?
Like the podcast.
Oh, like the podcast. That's a good reason. My fault. You talking to her. Yeah, that's on me. My fault. All right. Yo, I know we got some more super chats, so we're going to get into them. But, man, recently I got some cool shit on Amazon that's made me more productive. Right. I'm working better, making more money. So I want to share that with y'all. All right, guys, I want to share with you 4 things. It's 4. What did I say? I did 4. Yeah. I want to share you guys 4 products I've bought recently that have made me more productive. Right. And I believe that any one of these or all of them will make you more productive and help you make more money, because they've been doing that for me. All right. So first of all, we got the Meta Quest Pro. Right. And I may have talked about this before, but this has really helped me with my productivity. So what I do is I use this, I put this on my face and I link it to my computer, and I use this app called Immersed. And basically, I can make my fucking screen as big as possible on it, right? It's like I'm in a virtual world I can put up as many screens as I want. I can make it as big as I need to. Pause. And the main reason that helps me is because it allows me to focus better, right? Like when I know a lot of you guys have issues getting distracted, your phone, you're checking your phone, you're doing shit. You're not doing that when your head is in the computer, when your face is actually in the computer, right? And so when I really need to like put in some deep work and work on something that I know is going to be cognitively demanding and I need to have uninterrupted focus for a certain amount of time, I strap this shit to my face. And now I'm actually, it feels like I'm in the laptop, right? I'm in the computer. And so I'm coming out with a new program. It's going to be free called Baller Mindset. And again, I wanted to make this program better than everyone's paid stuff that you would pay people for. I want to make it better, right? To help you guys make more money and be more successful. It's going to be 100% free, but I want it to be super good, right? So when I worked on that project, when I put together the content, I slapped this shit on my fucking face and worked on it. And I think you're going to see how well it comes out, the project. But I just noticed I was way more focused in that. And you can't get distracted when your fucking head's in the computer. So it helps you. The app is called Immersed. I don't know if it's a paid app or whatever when you're in there, but whatever. Slap this shit on your fucking head. And when you need to get the work. And it's been super helpful for me. The next one is the desk bike. I got the black one, right? So it's the desk bike or the dike. That's what we've been calling it. You know what I'm saying? So when I need to work hard, sometimes, I work on this sometimes. So I'll put it on my balcony, right? One of my balconies. I got like fucking 5 balconies in this apartment. It's crazy. But I'll put it on one of the balconies and I'll start working. So this way it's like, just puts me in a different mood. I don't use this and the Quest at the same time. This is like at another period. I switch it up. But sometimes I'm working here. But what it's cool is I burn calories at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So get you a dike. You know what I'm saying? So I got a dike in the house. And first my girlfriend was kind of weird about having a dike in the house, but she's cool with it now. You know what I'm saying? It took some getting used to. It's about $500, but it's super dope, right? Because I burn calories and I'm working out. And, it's just definitely a cool way to work, right? The next thing I got, the next product I have is a standing desk. Boom. So you may have noticed a trend. One thing I've been doing recently is I'll work in different spots. I'll work in one spot for an hour and I'll work somewhere else. Because sometimes I just get bored staying in the same spot, but switching up the environment makes it better, right? So sometimes I'll grab the dike. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll strap the fucking Meta Quest on my head, or sometimes I just work. Sometimes I just go raw, just me on the desk, right? And I get a standing desk. So what I do is, I can sit or stand with this, but I like to stand because I feel like I'm more attentive to what I'm doing and I have more energy when I'm working on the standing desk. This is a good one. This is kind of this is a good standing desk, and I have all my monitors and stuff hooked up to it. I really like this a lot. Try a standing desk. Try to work standing sometimes, and I switch it up. Sometimes I stand, sometimes I sit down. But with a stand desk, you can do both, and it's kind of cool because I can program the different heights in there. Right. Then the third thing I got, this is new. So y'all see me with a treadmill desk, right? With a treadmill by my standing desk, but I got this one because this one folds. Yeah. So when I don't want to use it, it's not in the way, and I can put my chair there and I can just fold it up. This shit is dope. You can tuck it away. It's small. It really does fold. Fold up. It really works well. Right. So sometimes I'll be on a treadmill desk, and I got this from I actually learned this from Ty Lopez, man. My boy Ty, like back in the day, like we're talking like 2015. and Ty was working on a standing desk. I was like, all right, I tried it. I started doing it, and not a standing desk. Ty was working on a treadmill desk, and I was like, all right, I like this idea. You can burn calories and work. So when I had to do like light tasks, nothing I need to work real hard on, but light tasks, checking emails, responding to shit, then I'll do that and walk. This way I burn calories, stay a little bit more focused, and I can just put this up to my standing desk, right? Or just fold it up when I'm not using it. It's super dope. I like it a lot, right? So I think if I was to rank these in order, boom, standing desk would be the most important, right? Sometimes you just standing up will change the environment, right? Number 2, MetaQuest Pro, right? I'm telling you, man, that Immersed app, there's a little bit of lag, right? But that just means I got to concentrate more. I got to be more focused. This shit ain't gonna save Facebook. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some bugs in it, but I like it. But I know it's just a unique use case. Then we got the Dyke Desk Bike. This shit is dope. This shit is really dope. What I noticed, I can work on more cognitively demanding things when I'm on this than I can on the walking treadmill. On the treadmill desk, it's got to be light work. But this, I can actually work on something that takes more concentration because I don't have to fucking balance myself. You know what I'm saying? And then the treadmill desk would be probably the last one. Back in the days, this would have been higher, but I think these other products have blown past it. Somebody said they think it's dangerous. Man, I've never fell off it, but then again, look at me, right? I'm super athletic. It might be dangerous for you. You know what I'm saying? I think these four products have definitely improved my productivity, and I'm putting up record numbers every month. Every month's better than the last. We're making moves, getting money, and I think this stuff will help you as well. All right, that's the cool shit I bought on Amazon. Are there more super chats?
Yeah.
All right.
Income Tools is back.
All right.
I have to up my effort into my program. I'm realizing now, dropping some gems for the mindset right now.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
We have Rage.
Big
Hey,
Rage.
BBC. I started my second job a month ago. Now I'm getting only 5 hours of sleep. My question is, it doesn't affect me now, but what's your advice for the future?
Yo, man, I think you need to get more sleep. Like you can, I struggle to believe that you can only get 5 hours of sleep, even with a second job, right?
He forgot to add that he's 25 years
At
old.
25 years old, you can get away with a lot more for sure. But at the same time, it's just, bro, I feel like you should be able to get more sleep. You got to start using your calendar more, right? You got to see. I bet you if I looked at your calendar, I can find mad shit you're doing that's wasting time, right? Like, think about it. You work 40 hours a week. Boom. Let's say your first job, 40 hours a week. All right. And then let's say you slept 8 hours a night, right? That's 52 hours a week. I mean, that's 56. I'm sorry. That's 56 hours a week. Is that right? Or is it 52? 8 times 7?
56.
56. Bam. Look at me, man. Got it. All right. 56, right? So 40 plus 56. 96. Come on, man. Like there's 168 hours in every week. You still got mad time left. Right? So we 96 plus we add another 40 hours on that. 136. Boom. You even with 8 hours of sleep, you still got mad time left. So I don't know what you're doing with all that time, bro. Cause I did the math, and you should at 25, you probably ain't married and probably ain't got a bunch of kids. You know what I'm saying? You would still have time. I don't know, man. I'd have to see a calendar. I struggle to believe that you can't get another 2 hours of sleep a night. You want to at least get 7, bro. Because you don't want to do that 5 hours of sleep for an extended amount of time. You want to at least get 7.
Ooh,
what up, David?
Hey, Brandon, how did you grow those shoulders? Is the
Handstand push-ups, man. Like, yo, first of all, thank you. But handstand push-ups, bro. I do them every day. I really think that that's has built some of the size, especially in the front delts. You see that? Yeah. It's a handstand push-ups, baby. What else we got?
We have ONJ,
Mm.
just with the money.
Goes to the thought
Oh
report.
man, I like that.
We have Michael. Thanks for the motivation to do better, my brother.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad that my man is got a second job, and I'm glad my man is motivated. Michael and the other dude, I wasn't trying to shit on him. I'm glad he's willing to work hard, right? And you know what we didn't get into, man, is like, you know, the real talk section, man, because it's something I want to share with you guys, man. Let's get into it. I've noticed a disturbing trend amongst men, right? So most of my audience is men, like 90% of them. And I see comments all the time about people telling me why they can't accomplish their goals, why they can't work hard. I'll post some advice, and these motherfuckers will say shit like, oh, it's easy for you. You have this, or I can't do it because of that, or some of us have this. And it really shocks me that there are men, using sarcastic air quotes, who are so eager to enthusiastically argue for their own limitations. These motherfuckers will really argue for their own limitations. So there was a YouTube short that I put out where somebody was interviewing me. I was on somebody's podcast and we took the clip from it. And he asked me, why do some people have trouble losing weight? And I said, well, and he asked me, what is it, the diet or is it the workout? And the answer I gave to him, it wasn't what he was looking for, but it doesn't apply to just the losing weight. It applies to everything, building a business, making money, any success you want in life. This will be applicable. Listen closely to me. The reason you don't have what you want in your life is because you don't want it bad enough to do anything for it, to go all out. Right? Most people live in this purgatory where they don't want to change bad enough to really do anything, but they don't hate where they're at enough to get out of it. Right? So they kind of stay in this little purgatory. And the problem with that is they do little shit. They half-ass it. And the answer I gave him was they don't want it bad enough. If they really wanted to lose that weight, if they really wanted to, if it was a must, they would do it. I've seen it thousands of times. I've trained thousands of people, literally thousands of people over the last 20 years, both in person and online. And these people these people come from all walks of life, right? And the people who were real serious, even if they were obese, even if they had medical issues, once they decided it was a must, it wasn't even that hard for them, right? Because all they had to do was really control the amount of food they put in their mouth. That's the lowest form of discipline, controlling the amount of food that you put in your mouth, right? That's like just right above not shitting on yourself or pissing your pants every day, right? Just controlling the amount of food you put in your mouth. The reason people find it difficult is because of two reasons. One, they don't want it bad enough. And two, they keep telling themselves it's difficult, right? People are so eager to argue for their limitations. And the comments in that video was a bunch of people saying, oh, it's not easy for everyone. We have this, I have this, so blah, 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 blah. And these people were literally arguing for their own limitations. They were trying to convince me that they weren't strong enough to do it. I can't believe that there's human beings that behave like this. And I see it all the time. I just see it all the time. If I have a video about working hard, oh man, I had 4 jobs when I was trying to, after my dad killed himself, I got 4 jobs to get my family out the fucking gutter, move my mom out the hood, take care of everybody. And people's like, oh, well, we can't do that. Or some of us want to have a life, or some of this is like, motherfuckers are literally arguing for their own limitations. Here's the thing. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. You get to keep them. What do you want me to do? You want me to say, yeah, man, my fault. You right. You can't do it. Nah, my fault, man. You're not strong enough, man. My fault. I'm over here trying to tell everybody that they are strong enough. I'm trying to tell you that you are strong enough, that you can do it. All you have to do is set your mind to it and make it a must. And people still want to fucking sit and tell me why they can't. I'm telling you that you can. I'm telling people that you can do it. All you got to do is really get fucking serious about it. And if you do that, I promise you, you can have anything you want. Life will bend to your demands. It will literally, reality will bend to your fucking will the moment you get dead serious. And I mean dead serious. So earlier today, I was talking to some of my students, and one of them said, he said, yeah, man, I'm going to try to do this. And I kind of like blacked out. That's not a word we use. It's like, I'm going to try. I stopped everything like a fucking record scratch. No. We don't try to do shit. We fucking do it. Within reason, there's nothing you can't do if you fucking go all out. If you go all out, you literally cannot lose. The only things you can lose in are like zero-sum games. Like if you're playing Smash Bros against one person, okay, you might lose against him, right? If it's in a game where there's only one prize, but life's not like that, right? If you want to get money, there's enough money for you to get. Doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. If you want to lose weight, doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, right? If you want to build a business, it doesn't really matter, but you can build that business, right? Life's not a zero-sum game. And because we're not playing a zero-sum game, all you have to do is go all out and you will win. And once you do that, here's the thing. I promise you, everything becomes easy once you make the decision that you're going to go all out. And when I mean all out, I mean, you really make up your mind that this is going to happen no matter what. Even if it kills you, you're going to do it. And the thing, it won't kill you. Like you will be able to accomplish it. I've never met a failure who went all out. Like all the failures I've ever met in life, all the men who are failures, yo, these guys were bullshit most of the time. You look at their calendars, it's fucking empty. They're not using their time effectively. They're partying a lot. They're bullshitting. They were talking about enjoying life and all this other shit. Excuse me. They were getting high, chasing hoes, partying all the time. They saw every movie, watched every basketball game. They can tell you about the Squid Games. They know how to beat every video game. They was bullshit. They never went all out. If you go all out, I'm telling you, life actually becomes easy. The things you want to accomplish, you can do. It's easy. It will be easy for you. The only hard part is deciding that you're going to go all out. I swear to God. And a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, but it's hard for me because blah, blah, blah. Bro, stop being a fucking bitch. All you have to do is make the decision. Your goals are not big enough that you can't accomplish them if you went all out. You don't have no goals that are that big, right? Like you don't want to be you don't want to be an astronaut or a fucking NBA player, right? Your fucking goals, you want to make some extra money, or you want to make 10K a month, 100 grand a year. It's fucking easy, bro. All you got to do is go all out. It's not fucking difficult, man. I never met a failure who went all out. And when people say, man, oh, I tried to do this, but man, or I tried everything. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Of course you didn't, motherfucker. You didn't try everything. You didn't go all out. If I looked at your calendar, I could find all types of fucking places where you were wasting time bullshitting. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you would know how much you bullshit. I can look at the screen time app on your cell phone and I can tell you exactly how much you've been bullshitting. Go ahead. Before you decide to make one of these excuses, just open the screen time app. See how you've been spending your time on your phone, and then tell me that you went all out. Right? Or tell yourself that. You can't bullshit yourself. Right? The real problem is motherfuckers are soft. Yeah, I said it. Motherfuckers are soft. And it's easier to blame their circumstances or blame life or blame some outside forces than it is to admit, man, I'm too soft to go all out. It mitigates the feelings of inferiority that you experience when you look at motherfuckers balling and shit. It's easier to say, oh, he's a cheater, or he can do it because of this, or it's easy for him. Some people do have advantages that you don't have. A lot of you guys had advantages that I don't have. Right? You probably didn't grow up in the south side of Chicago, man. Motherfucking gang infested war zone. You probably didn't see dead bodies on your way to school and shit. Your father probably didn't blow his fucking brains out when he was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got advantages I don't have. And even if I have advantages you don't have, if you got to work harder than me, then that just means, hey, work harder than me. You know what I'm saying? You can still get your goal. You can still hit your goals. My advantages have nothing to do with your goals. Someone else's advantages have nothing to do with your goals, because your goals and your success is your responsibility. And it's not as hard as you think it is. The only hard part is deciding that you're not going to be soft and you're going to go all out. Once you decide that, I'm telling you, life will bend to your demands, right? The fucking universe will mend to your will once you decide to go all out. Once you decide that you're going to fucking grab life by the fucking throat and make it submit to your demands, everything becomes easy. The hard part is deciding you're not going to be soft and deciding to be hardcore. I've never seen somebody go all out and lose. Never. All the failures I know, everybody who loses at almost anything, it's not a zero-sum game, right? When they lose in life, because life's not a zero-sum game. Everyone who doesn't succeed in life, they just weren't trying hard enough. All you got to do is go harder. All you got to do is go harder. And the easy thing you can do is just look how you spend your time. Go in your calendar, right? Start living out your calendar. I have a video on this somewhere, right? But go look at your calendar and start planning out each day, each week, each month, and just try to make each day full of success. Try to max out each day. Just tomorrow, right? Try to get the most out of yourself tomorrow. Then do it the next day. Then do it for a whole week. Then, damn, that was a victorious week. You do that every week. Boom, you have a victorious month. You do that every month, you victorious year. You do that every year, you live the life of your dreams in like 2-3 years. You could turn your whole life around in like a fucking year if you start going hard. And the first thing you need to do is look how you're spending your time. Are you really going all out? And if you're not, then change that. Change that. How do you spend your time? How do you spend each moment of each day? Because time is the only real currency. And if you start allocating your most important resource, time, you start allocating that to the acquisition of your goals, and you max out. I'm not telling you not to have fun. I'm not telling you to ignore your family. I'm not telling you to do any of that. I'm just telling you to fucking plan it all out and make sure you're actually going all out in your day. Each day. You can't lose, man. I'm telling you, it's fucking easy at that point. Life is easy. The hard part is deciding that you're not going to be soft and you're not going to be a bitch. Let's answer a few more super chats and we're going to get out of here.
We have Himdir.
All right.
Himida.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go with that one.
All right. It's close enough.
Hi, Brandon. I appreciate a lot of your message. I'm a 25 dork,
Mhm.
willing to grind more. I have
Nah.
2 jobs where I can spend a lot of time on my PC.
Yeah.
I'm considering e-commerce or graphic design on freelance.
Yeah. Go for it. I like the fact that this my man got 2 jobs. He definitely in some other country looking at the currency. Right, man. Damn, he working harder than Americans. I like that. I like that, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was a question there or if he was asking me which one he should do. But yeah, no, I don't know if there's a question in there, but I fucks with him. I fuck with the work ethic. Yeah, man. I'm just trying to bring back work ethic and working hard and being a G. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to bring that back. People try to clown me for it. It's too much work. It's too much work. Like working hard is a bad thing. Yeah, yo, I think it's something that should be praised. Like hard work. It's fucking man shit, right? Am I right? Like, you want to fucking sit around like a baby, like a little baby girl, play with toys? Nah, man, you would be out here working like a G. I like it. What else we got?
We have Naz the Gamer,
Mm-hmm.
BBC Pause.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about real estate during the crisis we are in?
I'm chilling on real estate for a little bit. I still think flight prices are inflated. You know what I'm saying? A little bit right now. So I'm waiting. You know, I've been just waiting on that. You know, I've been talking to Romulus and my man Moneyberg, and the general consensus is to wait right now.
We have Kevin. Yeah, Brandon, drop the playlist, G.
Drop the playlist? I don't know what he means.
I don't know, but you do have a...
I do got to get
video.
money playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Should I put that in the chat?
You should.
All right, I'm gonna do it right now. But right now, you read the next one. Bring the next one. I'll bring up I got to get money playlist. The baller playlist.
We have OA.
Mm.
Bro, for real, you're becoming one of my favorite mentors after Tate.
Hey man,
do
you
the
know what I'm
show
saying?
bi-weekly.
That's how I pray. Shout out to Tate, man. My man just came home.
When you coming back on Fresh and Fit?
Soon, man. Soon. I'm gonna be on that soon. How do I share this?
And then we have High Card Ace. Brandon, how does one deal with the death of a loved one? Mother died last year.
Whew.
It's always on my mind 24/7. Can't even meditate or lie in silence.
Yo, it's tough, bro. Like, it's gonna be like that for a minute, bro. What I would tell you, you know, because my father, you know, I lost my father. It's gonna be like that for a while, and it gets better with time. Like, your job right now is to stay strong. Is to stay strong for the family. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not, you know, hold on a second. Your job right now is you got to. What I did was I focused on staying strong for like the rest of my family. Like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be the rock. And even though I was sad, it wasn't you know, you can only focus on one thing at a time. Right? You can only really think about one thing your mind can only think about one thing at a time. So what I tried to think about mostly was focusing on my family.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I'm saying. Hold on, I'm gonna share with y'all the Get Money playlist.
I'm gonna put it in the description, guys.
All right, I'm gonna I'll put it in the description too. I'm gonna just share it with y'all, man. Look, so it starts off real quick, man. Not my man Baller Ace, man. Shout out to yo. All right, so we got the Get Money playlist. Boom. Starts off with "I Get Money" by 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, share this. You can share the screen.
That's
The Baller playlist. Boom, 29 songs. You put this on anytime you need motivation, get this money. You know what I'm saying? I Get Money by 50 Cent, right? That's what we all here for, man. And it's followed up by Grinding All My Life by Nipsey Hustle. Boom. Then we go to T.I. Big Shit Poppin', you know, big shit poppin', little shit stopping. Big shit poppin', little shit stopping. Ball on these niggas, being broke is not an option. I think we can all agree with that, right? Then What Up Gangster? 50 Cent makes his second appearance on the playlist with What Up Gangster. Then Victory by Diddy. T.I.'s back again with Go Get It. Then it's a good playlist, man. If you like fucking early 2000s gangster rap. then you'll feel this. This is a 30 and up club. Then you new guys, y'all rappers rap about doing the drugs instead of selling them. Like, it's hard for me to resonate with that. All right, I'll answer one more super chat, then we got to get out of here.
Will you ever write an autobiography by two academics?
Two academics. Man, I got a lot of, it's too early for that, man. I still got a lot to accomplish. I'm just getting warmed up, baby. I'm just getting started. You know what I'm saying? The real dope shit ain't even happened yet. All right.
Let's just remind them again about the audio podcast.
Yo, yeah. The audio podcast. Yo, the podcast is everywhere now. It's going to launch. You got to go click that link in the description.
Yeah, just
download.
Yeah, just
however it works, man.
Yeah, whatever platform you go, just make sure you follow. You give us a review. The content is going to be what we post on YouTube, but on different schedules. On Thursdays and Tuesdays, you're going to have new episodes. But the good thing is you can just listen to the Victory Talk on the go.
Yeah, you listen to it on the go, man. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's been real. Victory Talk. Holla at y'all. Peace.